Hi, I'm Jen Anders, Executive Director of the Larry H. Miller Tour of Utah, and I would like to personally welcome you to this year's race.
It all gets underway with the longest opening day in Tour history. Starting in Logan, Utah, the riders head out of town and through Logan Canyon to Garden City.
It's a good introduction to the racing to come, you know, and the hard week that's ahead.
Then they'll navigate 48 miles around Bear Lake.
Bear Lake is a sort of a hidden gem in northern Utah.
The coloring of it is pretty spectacular. You know, it almost looks like the Mediterranean or something.
On the north side of Bear Lake, the riders will roll through Idaho for the first time in race history. A long downhill back into the city of Logan will set up two fast-paced circuit laps and what should be a sprint finish, and the first yellow jersey. For the second straight year, the men won't be the only riders on the road this day.
We're really excited to be able to offer 2 days of women's racing this year.
The top professional and elite women will also take to the streets for day one of their 2-day competition.
The Criterium Classic will be a really good showcase of women on some very dynamic short courses.
Hi, I'm Ogden City Mayor Mike Caldwell, and we are thrilled to be a host city for the 2015 Larry H. Miller Tour of Utah. Stage 2 finishes right here on beautiful historic 25th Street.
Stage 2, presented by Workers' Compensation Fund, gets underway in the first-time host city of Tremont, Utah. The riders will enjoy the wide rural roads of Box Elder County, including the famous Fruit Highway. The stage then heads through Honeyville, Brigham City, Perry, and Willard before they enter Weber County and the city of Ogden. Next is a climb up Ogden Canyon and a trip around Pineview Reservoir before a fast descent down the North Ogden Divide.
They go so fast on those downhills, it's amazing to me.
Knowing the course is also really important, and luckily I've ridden all through Utah for years, so I know a lot of the tricky descents.
Once back in downtown Ogden, fans will be treated to a 3-lap circuit with a finish on historic 25th Street.
We've had a great history with the Tour of Utah. They've touched one part of our community every single year they've had the event.
The women will also hit the pavement again on this stage with the final day of this year's women's edition.
The course in Ogden is going to be wide open. It's going to be fast, it's going to be flat, and a lot of corners. So we're going to be looking for a real powerful rider, a real crit specialist to get across the finish line first.
Hi, I'm Rob Bruff, Executive Vice President of Marketing and Communications for Zions Bank. And we are proud sponsors of Stage 3 for this year's Larry H. Miller Tour of Utah.
Stage 3 of this year's tour visits Davis County for the first time in race history. The day will start on Antelope Island, the largest island in the Great Salt Lake. The riders will enjoy some breathtaking views and wildlife while on the island, and also will race down the 7-mile causeway to the mainland. The stage then heads to some familiar territory with a climb up the North Ogden Divide and again around Pineview Reservoir. The riders will then return to Davis County with a couple of long circuits through the city of Bountiful.
This is the biggest event that has ever happened in Bountiful,
including a tough climb on the Bountiful Bench. A first-time finish on Main Street in Bountiful should bring plenty of excitement.
I think this year's Stage 3 here in Bountiful is going to be really, really exciting.
We're calling it 50,000 on the 5th. We would like on this part of the tour, on Stage 3, to have 50,000 people watch this event.
I think there's nothing better than the downtown finish in a cycling event, and with this being 2 circuits, a 9-mile loop, finishing here in downtown, the crowds are going to be electric. You're not going to want to miss it.
Hi, I'm Todd Hegman, Technical Director of the Larry H. Miller Tour of Utah, and welcome to beautiful Soldier Hollow in Heber Valley and the start and finish of Stage 4.
Stage 4, presented by Subaru, is another new stage for the Tour of Utah. Starting at Soldier Hollow in Heber Valley, the riders head up Daniels Canyon, past Strawberry Reservoir, and along the undulating terrain in Duchesne County. The racers will then climb Wolf Creek Pass.
Wolf Creek Pass, it's a tough climb. We've got that categorized as Category 2 this year.
And head back to the cities of Woodland and Midway before a tough uphill finish back at Soldier Hollow.
It's going to be a really great day of climbing, and it'll probably be one of the actual first true days of climbing that we see.
We've got a fantastic finish location up in Soldier Hollow. We're slightly elevated and spectators will get a great view of the final miles of the race.
Hi, I'm Jeff Robbins, President and CEO of the Utah Sports Commission, and we're excited to be a proud sponsor of this year's Stage 5 of the Larry H. Miller Tour of Utah.
Backed by popular demand, with a twist of course, is the Salt Lake City Circuit race for Stage 5. The day will start at the state capitol and follow the traditional route through City Creek Canyon, the avenues, and the University of Utah. The riders then descend down South Temple before the climb up State Street. New this year is more climbing through the Marmalade and Capitol Hills neighborhoods, including a 20% grade up Wall Street and Zane Avenue.
Local riders will know the roads going up Wall Street, up to Zane, and then up to 500 North by the north side of the Capitol. It's tough.
This year's circuit will be 7 laps and the hardest 55 miles the riders will face all week. Expect huge crowds around the whole circuit, as this is as fan-friendly as a race can get.
So many people come out for that stage. All of Salt Lake, that's really the center of cycling in Utah, is just around Salt Lake and that area there. So the fans are crazy, really fast and exciting stage too.
We're so excited that Salt Lake City will kind of be the hub Friday night, and hopefully people will plan and come down and enjoy the evening and see world-class cycling in downtown Salt Lake.
Hi, I'm David Entwistle, CEO of the University of Utah Hospitals and Clinics. We are proud to sponsor, once again, Stage 6, the Queen Stage of the Larry H. Miller Tour of Utah.
With over 110 miles and close to 13,000 feet of climbing, Stage 6 is once again the Queen Stage of this year's Tour of Utah. The stage will feature a new start in downtown Salt Lake City, past the popular farmers market at Pioneer Park, and then head out of town to Emigration Canyon and Big Mountain. The race then travels through rural Morgan and Summit counties before the brutal climb up to Guardsman's Pass and the super-fast descent down Big Cottonwood Canyon. That sets up the finish climb to Snowbird.
I do have fond memories of Snowbird, but it's not something I think fondly of.
As always, expect huge crowds all the way up to the mountaintop finish.
Well, the crowds in Snowbird are really special. They get pretty wild in the crowd.
It's pretty crazy there. People handing out food, and pizza slices and donuts, and it's a lot of fun.
They're really, really fanatic, and they're happy to see us. They cheer for the first and the last ride. They're the same.
This is a neat event. It is one of the things in our community that we look forward to every year, and we're just proud to be part of.
Hi, I'm Tanner Putt from United Healthcare Cycling Team, and welcome to my hometown of Park City, Utah, in Stage 7, the final stage of this year's Tour of Utah.
Stage 7, presented by Valcom Barracuda, is a familiar course in the Tour of Utah. The 78-mile stage isn't that long, but it's memorable. The stage starts off on historic Main Street in Park City, before heading out to Summit County for a tough climb at Wolf Creek Ranches. The riders pass through the towns of Heber City and Midway before they reach one of the toughest challenges in the world, the climb up Empire Pass.
Empire Pass has quickly become known as the toughest climb in North America.
Empire is definitely the hardest climb that I've ever done in my life. We have to put, extra small gears on our bike just to get up there.
It's steep, it's rugged, it's a rough piece of pavement. It used to be dirt.
That is one of the most punishing, mentally and physically, one of the most punishing climbs I've ever ridden.
A fast and technical descent will bring the riders back into the huge crowds in Park City, all waiting to see who will be this year's Larry H. Miller Tour of Utah champion.
Racing in Park City on that final stage is, it's my favorite day of the year.
Hi, Paul Nygaard here, Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing for the Larry H. Miller dealerships, this year's title sponsor to the Tour of Utah, inviting you to come check out the beautiful scenery and see the world's greatest athletes compete in America's toughest stage race.